Robin, little snot. When I was a writer, I had problems with Robin because it was so illogical. You have a guy who is deliberately dressed in dark colors. And then you got a kind of chirpy little 11-year-old with bare legs and primary colors. And as his guardian, you are going to put him on rooftops with the worst maniacs on the East Coast to fight them. We want to talk about your parenting skills, Bruce. I did not object to Robin because there's such a thing as City Hall that you can't fight. He was such a part of the Batman mystique that I think the people in the big carpeted offices probably wanted a Robin. First one had graduated and was his own superhero, Nightwing. This is the second Robin. You've heard that characters take on a life of their own. Well, young Robin took on a life of his own, and he was a kind of a little snot. He was not the kind of kid you would want your child to play with. Jeanette Kahn and I were talking things over, and one of us had the idea of killing him. I think I came up with the idea of letting the readers decide the kid's fate. My writer, Jim Starlin, had him in an explosion caused by the Joker. Then our readers had 3 days. If they dialed one number, it meant he did not survive the explosion. The other, he did survive the explosion. Finally, Friday evening rolls around. The office is deserted except for my wife and me, Mary Fran. I made that phone call to the phone company one last time, and then we walked the correct artwork down the hall to the production department. And then I went home and thought, this has been an interesting experiment. I don't know if it was a success, but anything we can do, we ought to do. We ought to try. I got back to work on Monday morning, and the phones never shut up. I talked to people all over the world. I knew we would get some publicity. I did not expect that for 3 days I wasn't an editor. I was a guy who talked on the phone. We had to remind people, it's not a real kid. This is ink and paper. But they were treating it like, they accused us of Roman circus. No, nobody died. The final gory chapter in this saga is that they told me that you can't not have a Robin. You've got to have a Robin tomorrow. We made him 14 and a student of martial arts, and I paid a designer to give me a costume that was fireproof and bulletproof, and something that a 14-year-old might survive an attack wearing. Even if I were still running the franchise, I would not consider writing Robin out of it, because he has become a part of the Batman saga.